JahRock'n.
Sheena, formerly Lee, but now just Sheena.
Yeah.
I like that better.
Okay, why?
Cause we helped you come up with it.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little plug for me. Anyway, we're sitting here with Sheena, the lovely Sheena.
Hi.
And the amazing artist, singer. We've worked with you for 6 years, maybe?
Something around that.
Yeah. A lot of iterations through Truce and a lot of different like singles here and there, and then eventually the project Sheena.
Recent project.
The recent project Sheena. When did it come out again?
It came out on September 4th of last year.
What's last year?
2015.
There you go. Okay, 2015. Cool. And we are super proud of it because it's our baby.
Yes, it is.
Yes. It's not just yours, it's ours too.
A lot of work and the time just like in this room here.
Right
just
here.
Like creatively coming from like the scratches, the roots of it.
Yes.
So it's exciting in that sense.
It is because I remember. So we were upstairs. Well, I was upstairs. You were on the phone, and we had that conversation. It started there. We had a conversation. You called me, and you were like, "What?"
Well, I basically said, I was like, "There's this song that I have, and I was thinking, I would like to record it at your studio." You know, I think that was just the introduction of just getting my feet wet again. You know, just like coming back to a place where the last time I recorded, I felt very comfortable. It felt like home, and the vibe was right. Like that to me is very important when you're working, you know, or recording somewhere, especially if you know you're gonna have somebody in your corner, pushing you to the highest limit, and like they know your potential and what's the best that you can do. I think from that just inspired everything else, because then it led to another conversation about like, okay, so there's a style of music that I want to do, and I was wondering, do you think I can do it?
What style is that?
That was the EDM.
There we go.
That was the EDM.
And that's different because coming from more of an R&B-ish gospel background to make that jump.
Yeah, and at the time, it was just something that was really truly inspired by, because with the last project that I finished recording here called Destiny, I was already on that wave, like with As Long As I Live in H2O. So I just wanted to piggyback off of that. But what ended up happening is that even though that was the initial idea and the flow, coming here helped me even grow more, where I was able to still experience or expand on that genre, but it led to so many other different styles and different things, just because I wanted to kind of like step out of the box. So that creative freedom and just putting our two minds together, and like everyone else on the team, it was like just extracting and also putting together something that is like, you know, trap with, you know, hip hop, and then R&B, soul. Like it was just many different fusions of genres, and I was so grateful to be able to come here and do that, because I have a love for all types of music. And my taste is very eclectic. So I was able to tackle that and execute that working with Chris Belmont.
For sure. And Eddie Magic and
shout
out to Eddie Magic.
Sorry, I'm not leaving you guys out.
You're not. I know you're not. That's my job. I got to always remember them. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Magic, DJ X-Ray. Shout out to E Keys, Emmanuel Cruz, always killing it on all those songs. So that was good, man. I felt honored, honestly, because, you know, when you decided to do the project with us, I felt like, wow, you're trusting us with this baby, because before this project you hadn't recorded anything in
3 years.
Yes, and it's in artist time, that's a long time.
That's a very long time. That's like decades.
Yes, exactly. You know, 'cause people start thinking you fell off, you know, but you didn't. You know, you were just retooling. And I really appreciate you trusting us, you know, in that baby. So we created this baby. So now, in the beginning, let's talk about this project, like the actual like journey of these ideas in which you had in your head, because you really came with a clean slate. You just wanted to do this style of music, but you actually said, I want to do a project. I don't have anything. Talk about that. Like, how was that experience from there?
All I know is like, okay, here's a sound or that I have in mind that I want to do. But at the same time, I think I came in with a pretty good idea with the type of message I wanted to relay. I definitely wanted to be intentional with that, and they also helped, with that as well, because I wanted to come from a place where it was introspective and where people could really know who Sheena is. It was no longer, in that moment, it's like, okay, I'm still, I'm Sheena Lee, but I had already had experiences and gone through, things that I know. I was like, okay, this is, I'm on another level right now. And I know that they're going to help me catapult and take me to another level, because I still was growing, and it still was a season of transition for me. So just being able to share that with the JahRock'n team, it's like they were able to see the vision that I had. And even though it was in its rare form, we were able to tackle putting a plan together to strategize on, like, okay, what are the types of messages you want to give? Because, okay, you have this idea, you want it to be about you, but what are the different topics that we could touch on? And I think for me, I came in with the mindset that I want to do music that caters to the heart of women, but also just people in general, so it was just an awesome experience, knowing that I was able to have like a total 100% creative freedom, but knowing that they were like riding with me. It's like, okay, I can see this, I can picture this, and it's like, it's an amazing thing when you're inspired by something and then someone else also sees that inspiration. It's like two teams just fusing together to create something that's bigger than what you could imagine or even think of.
Absolutely.
So that basically was the experience for me, because in that time of the creation process or the creating process, it's just like sitting here and just hearing the different beats, or just hearing beats that were created from scratch, just based on an idea or maybe a possible name of a song, or just sitting down and writing songs that were inspired from the track. That was an experience for me that I didn't really experience that often with my first project, because what made it so different as far as sound was the maturity, was the set plan, or a set strategy. So it's very important when you want to work or create an album that you have a set plan or a strategy in mind, because it makes a world of a difference. If you can create a message that is integral, relevant, but also connects together.
So that's good. And so I'm just gonna be facetious a little bit, but we didn't just sell you beats.
No, they didn't. No. It wasn't that. I would say there's just maybe one song that was, done in it. At the end of the day, you have that choice. That's the important thing. You totally have the choice to make a decision on if you hear something that is demoed and it was already recorded and it's something that you feel fits the project, by all means go ahead. But they are totally when you come in, it's like it's like you're starting with a clean canvas. Like a clear slate, and you're just throwing different colors of paint and just creating this masterpiece.
That's a good visual.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a great visual. I think artists would appreciate something like that. When just creating from scratch and just being able to just dictate the whole thing. So let's talk about how we did everything. So we did co-writing, right?
Yes.
Alongside of you, and then we did production as well, and then also recording, mixing, and mastering.
Yes.
So pretty much our full range of services, we just dumped it right on your project.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was awesome for me. You could just talk about the process of taking it from literally the very beginning and to the end.
It's, I think for any independent artist, like myself, when you're stepping into an arena, because that's what it looks like, an arena to me of what it is that you want to do and what you want to tackle. At the end of the day, there can be some things where you have an idea. You have a set, mind, I want it to be like this and I want it to sound like this. But it's beautiful to know that there are people that are, well versed in what it is that they do. You have Chris, he also sings. He's a vocal producer as well. I mean, he hears harmonies and it's just all these different things that is so helpful, because it's just I always believe that, you know, two minds are better than one, especially when you have a team that like just hears things, because it was awesome. Like even while they were creating a track, it's like a track could be created from scratch. But if I hear something and I'm like, you know what if you added this and it made it sound like there was like a sound pan of like just different sounds, and you could just add this, and you know, like the fact that they even take that into consideration and they listen to that, it's like you're able to feel like, oh snap, I partially co-produced the track too. You know, it's like, it's not just, it's like you're able to expand in what maybe, you know, other areas that you may be gifted or have talent in, and you don't even know.
Yep.
But they're with you, and they're not going to ever like lie to you or deter you. They're going to keep it straight with you, and they're going to tell you, yeah, that doesn't sound so great. Or they're going to be like, yo, that's hot, you know? So that was very, very helpful. And because I was coming back, you know, like recording after 3 years, I wanted that. I felt great having that safety net, or having, you know, people in my corner that could add, not negate, but add to whatever vision or whatever sound or idea that I have, and also implement that, you know, or even if it's something that they came up with and I'm just like blown away, I'm like, you know what, like, yeah, that's dope, let's do it.
Awesome.
You know, so you definitely get stretched. You will be stretched. If you think you're hot, like when you come here, you will come out hotter.
There you go. I like that. That's cool, man. You said it awesome. I really appreciate you saying that. I had no idea she was going to say this, but this is awesome.
No, but I mean, to hear it from you, knowing that we've known each other for like more than 6 years, but at the same time just working with each other in the studio, to be able to hear someone who's a singer themselves and has heard all types of music and different voices and stuff, for them to tell you that, you know, they've, in the process, they've seen you grow, or in the process, like they were able to see you like stretch or overcome, even when you already had certain like conditions, or you were just used to doing a certain type of sound and thing. Like that shows the growth, and that's what makes it more meaningful, because you know you're coming out with quality. Like, and that's the importance right there. You want to make sure that everything you do it in excellence. And you need to work with a team that is going to have the same vision in mind and want to do things in excellence. You don't want to come in and, you know, you're basically spending, you know, your, you know, whatever you saved, or you're, you know, you're grinding, knowing that God called you to be a voice in such a time, you know, or that you feel that He's given you a gift and a talent that you just need to share with the world, because your experiences or your, you know, your journey has meaning, and you can touch and bless someone's life. You want to do that in excellence. Like, it's that integral and it's that important. Like, you know, already, like you already hear, you know, different stuff, like where like independent artists, like, I'm not saying it's horrible, people have blown up just from recording in a you know, a box, or like in a closet or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, like, it's so vital and it's important. And if you're grinding, and if you have it, and if you know that God's called you to do something, like, this for me is like home, as far as like studios. Like, I didn't think of anything else or another place when I made the decision to want to work on a new album. You know, like, this is where I need to go. You know, it may took me, you know, it may have taken me a little while, because I needed to like really get my mind right and just know for sure and have clarity, like, God, like, this is what you want me to do. Like, this is where I need to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, and I appreciate that as well too, because, you know, our theme for the whole year is from ideas to reality, you know. So we're focusing on the whole, just, you come up with an idea in your room, in your car, in the gym, and now you have a place to come to be able to communicate those ideas in a way that you feel like, you know what, this actually can become a reality.
Definitely.
You know, so it's important to say that, because I think a lot of artists can appreciate somebody that's actually done that already, and the process of going through that. So let's talk about, like, okay, we talked about a lot of positive stuff. Let's talk about some of the challenges of being here, you know, being in the booths and there sometimes for hours on end. Let's talk about how we got through that, how we get through some of those difficult times of the project.
Tough love. No, I'm being so serious. I should be
wearing a shirt called Tough Love.
Like, I will not say that, if you are stepping into the studio for the first time, that it will be, the same. It's different when you have, like, relationship or, you've known someone for years and they know, like, literally they see your potential. It's just a matter of them extracting and pulling that out of you. And for me, man, oh my gosh, at the time, like, where I was working, it could be very draining emotionally, and sometimes I would come here and I was just shot. Like, it was like I had to, like, above and beyond, try to, like, pull everything outside of me, but it would just be so frustrating because my voice wasn't even there, or, like, it was just doing too much. And the fact that I was able to come back refreshed and, like, just continue, you got to do whatever you got to do, because it's not just about them doing an excellence, but they're going to keep it real with you at all times. So there was times that I was in the booth or whatever, and either a song had me feeling all emotional, and I was just feeling it, because you definitely want to feel the message of what you're putting out there. But there were times where I would just get frustrated because sometimes you just have these inner things inside of you where it's just like you feel like you can't do something. And when you are, when you're going through, you're going to have your tough days. You're going to have, like, this, like, for me, where there's little conditions here and there where you're just like, I don't know if I can do that, or, in your mind, you're telling yourself that, but they're telling you, no, you can do it. I know you can. I've heard you do it. You need to do it now. So sometimes you just need to take that break in the session to just be able to get back into the booth, whether it was like 20 minutes to 30 minutes later, and just, like, literally get it out. But at the end of the day, it also had to do with prayer. There was some times where I'm just like, what, God, I need this break. I was like, I need to go and somewhere and go deep within myself and, like, God, I need your strength right now, because I don't know how else I'm going to do this, and I'm determined. I have no problem with being in a booth for a long amount of time, or doing 50 to however many takes until I'm going to get it right. Because that's just what I'm used to. Like, that's just my, I don't say training or anything, but just my experience. But sometimes when you just, like, get so tired, it's like, okay, I need to stop. And that's one of the things, like, they'll know the limit as of how far they can push you in that moment. They're not going to be like boot camp and you're like, no, do it now, because that could be detrimental to your voice as well, so that's not good. Or they'll know when you just need a break for real, and be like, you know what, let's stop here, come back another day and we'll tackle this again. But I know there were times that I had to, like, search deep within myself, knowing that I could do it, even despite what I was feeling in the moment. And then it would just come out, and I'll be like, oh, snap. Like, I was like, and thank you, Jesus.
There you go.
But, at the end of the day, like, the tough love is important, because I know that sometimes I could get really inside of my head. And it's not even something that, I enjoy, because in the moment, it's like, if I'm already conditioned, or I know, it's this note, I could be told a new note right in that moment, and it's just like, I'm going to do it. And then when it gets there, I'm singing the same note that I sang before. So sometimes everyone is different, how they work and has their, like, work ethic. But definitely they will let you know if you're being Shaniqua or Sheena,
I didn't know you was going to put that out there.
I'm telling you right now. I mean, I have my moments, in the booth or whatever, but, like, they would just call me out. I never heard anybody call me that before, because that's just, like, totally reaching down to, the roots. Like,
she's Shaniqua right now. Beware, she's Shaniqua right now. She put it. Listen, I wasn't gonna reveal that to the world, but I mean, she put it out there. We called her Shaniqua when she didn't like getting the note sometimes, and she was like, I'm not getting this, and she turned into Shaniqua.
Yeah, but I would get frustrated, and sometimes would. When you get frustrated,
and all
you
artists
shut
do.
down.
It's not just you. Like, I do when I'm in there. It's normal for an artist to. But I'm gonna reveal a little secret to you. So I'm a vocal coach as well, and I sing as well. So people, when they come into the studio, they think, it's like a thing with producers. They're like, producers are producers because they could never be artists. Well, I was an artist and I was signed. So people don't know that about me. So yeah, I know. Intern number
What's the name of the group? What's the name of the group?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying the name of the group. I'm not saying the name of the group. It is Cornball City. I love y'all. If y'all watching this, my group members, I love y'all. But the name was Cornball City. Anyway. That wasn't the name, but the name was corny. So anyway, having said that, little sidebar too. So when somebody taught me this, an amazing singer taught me this, would remain nameless. You can listen to somebody's range and their entire voice and their entire vocal ability just by the way they talk. So I didn't have to hear Sheena talk. And we've worked with Sheena before, but even before working on anything with Sheena, I could tell her ability and her limits based on her talking. And you can hear right now, she has a rich, deep voice. Sheena has a huge range in her voice.
Oh, thank you.
Guess what? Sheena didn't know that. Sheena didn't know that. So when she walked in and sung certain songs, she automatically thought, yeah, that's too high for me. And Shanika came out, yeah, I can't sing it in that key. And I was like, no, listen.
Okay, hold up. I didn't go.
You didn't. No. In my head, it translates into that.
That's because the name Shaniqua is very like, it's just like, but anyway, I don't do that.
She don't talk like that. Even though while she just did this, she don't do
that. Acting wise, you tell me like, excuse me, like, but I don't do that. I'm like, get your life. No, I don't do that. No, but seriously, like, as far as what you were saying, I think fear is the cause of just like, like you definitely, when you walk in here, you do not want to come in here, or any type of like fear is not good at all.
So let's change gears a little bit, and let's just talk about like now the final processes now, because we were able to be fortunate to be a part of the whole thing, right? So now leading up to the end of the project and you're getting ready to put it out, just talk a little bit about what this project did in this space. Like, did it exceed your expectations? Were you happy with it towards the end? Do you feel like the ideas that you had in the beginning were completely different? And it could be positive or negative. It can be different in a better way, but just talk about like that,
Okay, well, towards the end of it and right before the wrapping up or whatever, I did get a little sad because, sometimes when you get in the groove of something, you want to continue, like working on new music and new things.
It was sad,
But I will say that it did exceed my, I don't want to say I came in with expectations. I normally don't like doing that, just because you just never know. I'd rather be neutral or like just balanced. But I will say that I was pleasantly surprised, and I was so grateful to God for that, because I knew the journey it took in the year of creating the project, how so much had changed in my life, and just like growth wise. So it wasn't just like, for me, the testament of this project, there was more that superseded. It wasn't just the sound quality, it wasn't just the message, it wasn't just the album, but it was like getting to Sheena.
Got it.
Because like
it was the journey to Sheena. That's why the project is called Sheena.
Exactly. And
awesome.
Like in that sense, or in that aspect, I will say that it was very, very pleasant, and it was a very good experience, because I learned so much about myself in that moment. And I was very happy with the end result. Very happy. Because I look at it like this, like everything is a stepping stone. And like, you're in different levels, different paths of your life, whatever. It should be the same with your project. And I know that this project, not that it negates the first one, but when you hear it, and from people that have heard both Destiny and Sheena, they automatically can tell just the difference in sound, difference in message, just difference in the maturity. And that's what it should be. You're from your first project to the second project. Your second project should not sound the same as your first. It should just always be growth and elevation. Like, kind of like when you're in college or, in high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. Like, it should always continue to grow, because it shows your growth and it shows the different, place that you're in that moment. So, wrapping it up, like I said, it was sad, but it was exciting at the same time, because it was like to be able to sit back and listen to what you were able to accomplish. That was a major, like, that was like victory for me.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Because I, from a year prior to when it came out, I didn't even know whether I was going to record a new project or not. Like, I wasn't there yet. But I was like so grateful to God, and I was just like the strength and the courage and the boldness that He gave me to just step out in faith and be like, you know what, I need to do this for me, but ultimately for God.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I appreciate you saying that as well. And I know I said it a lot today. I appreciate it because it's weird for me to do these interviews because I am the producer. So it's just like, you know, it's almost like so much good things. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, man.
No, but I need to. No, but I need to. I'm just sharing. I'm totally being 100% honest and transparent because for everyone it's a different story. But for me, it was the what's the word? The example of growth for me.
That's good.
Because that was just like there was a lot of things like changing in my life for the better, and this just like was the icing on the cake.
Awesome.
You know? So.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome. And I think that's a good note to end on. And we appreciate you coming out here and doing this with us, you know, being a part of this interview. You know, so let's just talk a little bit, one more thing.
Yes.
Just tell them where they can find the project, you know, where they can, you know, get in touch with you, you know, they decide to email, whatever it is, you know, you need to get in touch with Sheena. Tell them.
Okay, awesome. So my Instagram, Twitter handle, or you know, Facebook, it's I am Sheena Music. That's IAMSHEENAMUSIC. And also you can find my music on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Spotify. Yeah, basically in every, you know, digital outlet you'll be able to find my music. And you know, the video I Win, going into Ladies Anthem featuring Butter P, is also on YouTube.
Shout out to Butter P Music.
Yeah, she was the only feature that I had on the project, and that was integral as well. I wanted a female voice that was strong in what she does as an artist, and she brought it. She brung it, you know, and that was just kind of like another extra, you know, thing. So yeah, man, that's it in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. Love you, girl.
Love you too.
Yeah.